Someone once wrote that hell is the impossibility of reason, and for many of our serving military personnel, both past and present, hell manifests itself as PTSD and it becomes a part of their everyday lives. Today we take a journey into the life of a serving soldier as he comes home from his tour of duty, and the ghosts of combat follow him into his civilian environment. Let's get into it. The quiet after the noise, a PTSD survivor's story. 00:00 touchdown. The plane hit the runway too hard. The impact sent a shock through Daniel's spine, and for a split second his hands reached for a rifle that wasn't there. The scream of rubber against asphalt sliced through his skull like shrapnel. Around him men laughed, someone cheered. Daniel didn't move. His pulse roared in his ears, his vision narrowed. He scanned the aisle, the exits, the faces, counting threats that didn't exist. He knew logically that this was home soil, that the war was over. Logic didn't survive impact. When the cabin lights came on, his reflection stared back from the darkened window, eyes sunken, jaw locked, a man still waiting for permission to breathe. 02:17, bloodless screams. The dream began without warning. Daniel was kneeling. Someone was yelling his name. The air smelled like iron and burning plastic. He tried to answer, but his mouth filled with dust. Hands, too many hands, pulled at him. Then silence. He woke choking. His sheets were twisted around his legs like restraints. Sweat soaked through the mattress. His heart pounded so violently he thought it might rupture. The clock glared at him in red numbers. 02:17 a.m. He pressed his fingernails into his palm until the pain anchored him. Still, the room didn't feel real. The walls breathed. The dark moved. He didn't lie back down. 6:51, morning without sleep. The mirror betrayed him. His eyes were bloodshot. His face looked older than it should, like something had been carved out and never replaced. He splashed water on his face, but the reflection didn't change. At breakfast, his mother spoke. Daniel heard the sound, but not the words. A spoon clinked against ceramic and his shoulders jerked violently. Coffee spilled across the table like dark blood. No one commented. Silence learned quickly how to survive him. 9:34, trigger discipline. The grocery store felt hostile. Too many people, too many blind corners. No exits he could reach fast enough. Fluorescent lights buzzed like faulty wiring. A child dropped a bottle. The crash detonated inside him. Daniel hit the floor before his mind caught up. His hands shook as he searched for threats. Someone screamed. Someone laughed. A manager asked if he was okay. He wasn't. He fled, abandoning the cart, heart hammering as if chased by ghosts only he could see. 13:08, the rot sets it. Days collapsed into each other. Daniel stopped shaving, stopped returning calls. He slept in fragments, 20 minutes here, an hour there, always waking worse than before. Empty beer bottles accumulated beside the couch, though alcohol only sharpened the edges. Every sound felt loaded, every shadow watched him. He replayed moments he couldn't change, decisions that lived like parasites in his skull, faces without names, names without bodies. He stopped going outside. 15:22, saying it out loud. The therapist's office felt too clean. Daniel's leg bounced uncontrollably as he stared at the carpet, tracing patterns he could lose himself in. When asked why he was there, he said nothing. The silence stretched until it hurt. Then everything spilled out. The patrol, the blast, the screaming, the moment he realized someone wasn't getting up, the guilt that followed him home like a stray dog that wouldn't leave. When the therapist spoke again, her voice didn't soften the words. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Daniel nodded. He had already diagnosed himself in the dark. 1840. The weight of the name. PTSD didn't explain everything. It didn't explain why he felt dangerous, why he flinched at kindness, why peace felt unnatural. The diagnosis wasn't a relief, it was a label stapled to a wound that refused to close. He sat in his car long after the engine died. When he finally cried, it wasn't loud, it was silent and violent, like something tearing loose inside him. 22:56, regression. Progress was a lie people told to make survival tolerable. Some nights were worse than the beginning. Nightmares layered over memories until he couldn't tell which were real. He woke with phantom pain, fingers curling like they still held a weapon. He began to fear sleep more than waking. The dark waited for him. 23:59, not peace but quiet. One night something changed. Not dramatically, not cleanly. Daniel lay in bed, heart racing as usual, but this time it slowed. The memories didn't disappear, they just stepped back. The silence didn't attack him. He didn't sleep well, but he slept. Epilogue, 06:12. Morning came whether he deserved it or not. Daniel stood at the window, sunlight catching dust in the air. The world looked fragile, so did he. He wasn't healed, he wasn't whole, but he was still here. And for now, that was enough. There are links in the description for more information on this topic. PTSD is real, and it deserves both our compassion and understanding, especially towards those who are suffering from this most complex of conditions. Please remember, any ex-military person that has served in an active theater of war is likely to have seen things that you or I could never comprehend. And to our bravest servicemen and women, we at Dude Brain Food hope that you can find a goodness and peace to your lives post-service. We cannot thank you enough. See you all next time.